All right, so let's take a final peek. IMTE bouncing back up. Yesterday's high, $22. Um, might be too, just not quite right spot to take a trade on. Pre-market pivot on CLWT right now, I would say, is at 470. This one is tricky because you have to place orders in the 5-cent increments. So I'll put an order right now at 480. SORL.
LIQT.
This one's worth keeping an eye on. Potentially over. Well, pre-market high is 440, so I would watch it at 440. BOXL has dipped down pre-market, so that one's not ready. And DXR looks interesting for continuation, but it doesn't have much volume, so I'll have to be a little careful on share size probably. All right, so here we go. Ready to trade. There's the bell. SORL, the one that popped up there.
SORL.
Nice move.
SORL.
Nice move on SORL. Wow. So you can watch this for a scalp. The high right now is 88. Nice job, guys, on SORL.
WSCWW. WSCWW.
CLWT breaking out. Doing a little red to green move.
CLWT. 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 CLWT.
So the spot we were watching on CLWT was 470. Now at 520.
CLWT. 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 CXRX. CLWT. 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 CLWT.
550, 555. 570, and it looks like this is going to get halted. Remember, the way it trades like this when it's pinned is usually right before a stock gets halted. SORL, maybe worth watching back over 50. It's a little bit of a doji on that first candle. That's maybe the only risk. CLWT, interesting, didn't halt. It was about to get halted and then resumed. High is 570. So usually I'd say over 570 is a scalp.
CLWT. CLWT. CLWT.
Doji candle there right now at the highs. So high is 95. Big seller there at 65, the 10,000 shares. That guy moved. Some good opportunities so far on SORL and CLWT, both over pre-market highs. SORL, if it broke back over the $0.50, there might be a little scalp there, 650. But because that first candle being a doji, it makes it a little tricky. It's not going to hit high a day scanner until it goes all the way back
RTTR.
up to 688. DXR from the morning watch list. Pulling back a little bit, but still worth watching over yesterday's high, which is 788. High of the last 1 minute candle on CLW 65. See if it respects that. Not sure if it will. $0.10 spread, 65, and then right down to 50 and 45 and 40 and 35. That's tough.
BLNKW.
So false breakout on the 1 minute chart.
PRPH. PRPH.
So 937, no trades yet for me.
NHLD.
Well, I missed my entry on SORL. It just kind of popped up a little too fast right out of the gate. So I just,
PRPH.
just kind of took off. So I didn't get filled on that. And then CLWT,
PRPH.
I just hesitated on it a little bit. I was good at reading them, and so I hesitated, and then I was like, well, I don't want to chase it. So nice, Thomas. Good job. So CLWT, I would maybe watch if it looks like it's going to break the highs. High of that little pivot was 75 right here, so over 575 would be a scalp for me. Okay, I'm long CLWT for the break of $6.
CLWT, PRPH, CLWT, RPH, CLWT.
So jumped in for the break of 6 there.
Lens. CTEK.
The thing that's tough right now is I can't use any of my hotkeys because none of them are scripted for 5-cent increments.
ALDX.
We want to see if we have continuation over 620.
EVK.
Stopped out $6, $2,200 on 10,000 shares. So one trade, one winner.
ARL.
So the current high is 25. That's a spot I could consider getting back in.
MYND.
MYND is coming up to the 200 moving average, so I'm a little iffy on that. It's also below pre-market highs, which were 380. So I think I'm going to leave that one alone for right now.
MYND.
MDGS. This was also on our watch list. Also below the 200 moving average. I think I'm going to wait on that one also. So CLWT, that was a nice trade. It was right off of a break of the pivot of 575. So it's a 1 minute pullback. It wasn't the first candle to make a new high. The first candle was a false breakout, dropped down, but then it came up for the second tap. So it got in at 575, sold on that move through 625. It's pretty clean. Not much on the level 2 to read on that particular trade. That was pretty much just the chart pattern. The level 2 on the 5-cent tick isn't as easy to read anyways. Sitting tight, watching scans. CLWT, first candle to make a new high. I'll even order at 620 for a possible scalp. I'm not sure if it's going to work. It's a little extended off of its moving averages. The first pullback came right to the 9 EMA on the 1 minute. This one's a little above it. A little extended on the 5 minute as well.
MDGS. MDGS. CLWT, CLWT, CLWT.
So you see there, that was that little breakout. Let's see if it holds. I'm a little worried about false breakouts on this one. And because my hotkeys don't work, being that it's 5-cent tick, I have to be more careful.
CNFR.
FST is working on my side. Try logging out, logging back in. It's working for me.
STNLW.
CLWT, 3.1 million shares of volume.
SAEX.
ISNS, a little tricky being gap down reversal and 5-cent tick. That's a tough combination. I think I'll leave that one alone.
CREG, CREG. SDRL. SDRL.
MEIP. It's not halted. CLWT is still kind of grinding up.
RKDA.
BOXL didn't give us a second opportunity. RKDA, it's a little tricky because we know it's running into moving average resistance. So first resistance point is going to be at 1160.
RFTA.
And then the second would be at like 13. For the most part, there's always opportunities because there's always volatility. So I don't think we're going to have really much of an issue. It'll just be looking for the news headlines, looking for which stocks are moving each day.
RKDA.
The problem with the MYND setup is that on the 5-minute, it's still well below its pre-market highs of 375. And on the daily, it's kind of running into these resistance points. So I think it's just not strong enough. MC, yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. I tried checking it and I didn't have an issue. Can you try a different browser?
NVIV.
Yeah, Chrome is where it's worked best for me as well.
Cool.
So SFUN, SFUN. You know, first thing I look at is the price, the volume, the float. This is I believe it's a Chinese stock. It's interesting because the level 2 on it is pretty thick. You see on SFUN how you've got this 53,000 share seller at 49, and then another 100,000 shares at 57. That for me is just can't trade it. There's people obviously with some big size trying to sell.
NVIV, NVIV.
One of the things that's kind of interesting is that sometimes when the market, when it pulls back a little bit, now you don't see that seller, but we'll see if it comes back up to 49 if they're still there. It could be someone who's actively canceling their order and then placing a new one. It's just enough to scare off traders.
RKDA.
RKDA. Okay, so that 53,000 share seller is still there on NYSE, NYSE. And now there's a seller at 50. So when you have big sellers like that, it just scares away traders to the long side.
RKDA.
There's a hotkey template, and also you can download my layout for Lightspeed if you want. If you Google search Lightspeed Broker Rebate Program, and then click that link at the very bottom of that page, you can download my layout, and then you'll have all my hotkeys. Yeah, not seeing much action right now. Things have slowed down a little bit. But CLWT gave one decent trade, 2,200 bucks, so happy with that. It is currently setting up a 5-minute pattern, so it may be worth watching.
PAVMS.
So it's kind of a little bit tricky to determine the exact pivot point on CLWT when it's just curling up. If it pulls back a little bit and comes back up, it could be over 620. And then continuation would be over 640, target 650, 655 probably. Not quite ready yet. So kind of watching it over 620.
XSPA.
Well, I was kind of thinking that looked like a little pivot, the high of this level here.
CREG.
So that's what I was thinking. If it broke over that little level, then it would probably move back up to 640, the high of day.
ECU.
Stop would be probably 605, but it doesn't look like it's gonna And it doesn't look like it's going to work the way it's fallen back down here.
CREG. CREG. CREG.
Craig, yeah, I see that popping up there.
ECO.
Maybe a scalp.
CREG. CREG.
Long Craig at 203 for a scalp through the highs. High day scalp on Craig. High is 210, so over 210 would be an 211. You can see the daily chart over 213 has a lot of room. This is a 1 minute micro pullback.
CREG.
There we go. Nice high day squeeze.
CREG.
Sold half on the ask. Stop will be 203 for the rest. Stopped out of the rest, 206 for now. Yeah, I saw RKDA. Just wasn't sure about it, but nice resolution there over 11. High day on Craig was 218. Not sure if it's gonna make another attempt at that because it closed as a doji.
RKDA. EMEDF. Yuma.
So for me with RKDA, it kind of right at that, it's breaking over that 1160 resistance point. If it can hold that level, then I guess it has room up to the 200 moving average, but I'm still not really into it. It's a little outside my price range. I kind of want to have stress-free trading. I'm up 2,600 bucks on the day now. Doesn't mean there's not opportunities on it. You just have to be willing to be a little more aggressive. Goal is still to launch it this month. We're going to release a latest version for Inner Circle and Warrior Pro students this week, and make sure it works with them. We're continuing since we released the first version of Inner Circle students. I think this will be the third update, so we keep improving it, making it better and better. So by the time we release it for everyone, it's in really good shape. Yeah, they'll get back to you today. HEAR. Very extended on the daily, but see if I draw a couple of these trend lines here, you start to see it. It could be running into some resistance points. Yeah, you'll be able to pop out screen share and have chat on a separate monitor if you want. Screen share will be able to be full screen.
Gagger.
Watch to see if here hits a little resistance at this trend line or at this pivot point of 593. So you would enter your buy order. If you used a buy stop, you could use a buy stop, and then you would enter the sell orders once those first ones are entered.
IGU.
Yeah, I was getting a lot of slippage. I still have my account there, but I'm going to move it to Lightspeed soon.